Yo, yo, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Not much, my brother. Just got finished up with the Ladybird show. How's things at your end?
All right, man, we're live already. So, hey, for those who don't know, man, this your boy the Lochness, man. I'm back. It's a Tuesday. I got my boy Will. Will, what's happening? Before we get started, before we do all the introductions and stuff, I always like to go to the comments and I go ahead and see who's already in here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Uh, well, King Treyway sent me a "What's up" log, and then we got Smooth saying what's up,
Just give me
AFM.
2 seconds. I'm going to get my audio set here because I've got the still got the old show running in the background so I can hear you a little better. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll be back with you. All right.
Yeah, I good. So what's up, 330? You can hear me, everybody can hear me. 28-3, Patriots 12. 28-3. I want to put this up here. I'm gonna give you some clout right quick. I think this is my first time even seeing you. Right. I think this is my first time even seeing you. But I appreciate you for coming in. Obviously, you're a Falcons fan, so 28-3. That's so long ago, bro. I don't even know why we even still talking about that 28-3. He said,
You know what, man? It was a horrible
how do you
memory, but
explain it? How do you explain it? The only way I can explain it is if we are saying that Tom Brady's the GOAT, we was going against the GOAT.
yeah, that's it.
He's the GOAT for a reason.
We came to play chess and he was playing checkers that night. You can't compete with that. And I mean, he got was it 7 rings in the end? So it's not
Yeah.
like that was we were the only team to fault him. So nah, I think they like to throw 28-3 up in my face now and again, but I'm over it. It's been almost a decade, and I
Yeah,
don't
man.
think
I'm like, that was
there ain't
2006.
many of those boys left, is there? Like now, there's hardly any left. So it's a different team.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice try though. I mean, like I said, like it was cute. Nice try. But you go ahead and introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
Okay, so
Will.
for everybody in the chat that doesn't know who I am, my name is Will the Thrill. I've been doing things with the AFN community, Mad Mike Sports, for maybe the last 2.5, 3 years on and off. I used to play wide receiver for a few teams over in Scotland, so I'm a former Clyde Valley Blackhawk and Glasgow Tiger. I finished up my career with the East Kilbride Pirates, and I'm hoping to get into some sort of maybe coaching or statistics sort of thing, so that I can still help the game, help bring the young boys along as well.
Right.
But yeah, just as I say, just trying to keep the grind going, and as I say, represent you all stateside as well, and kind of grow
Yeah,
the family on both sides of the Atlantic, as it were.
for sure, for sure. And y'all already know who I am, man. I'm the Lochness, man.
Hell yeah.
This is the Lochness podcast.
And as
Uh,
such, with a name like Lochness Podcast, man, you've got to be on the international show when that comes around. You've got to be.
yeah,
So there's
yeah,
your open invitation. You heard it here first.
yeah. Awesome, awesome. You know, he said, it don't matter. We got 6 rings. I mean, I don't even know. Appreciate you for adding to my comments, adding to my content on my page because now at this point, you even being here is a pleasure for you to even
Oh
show
no,
up
it's great to be here, man.
On
It's
the Atlanta Falcons podcast and you want to talk about a loss that almost happened 10 years ago. That's real fantastic. I like it. I like it. I
now we
like it. I
building
like
hope again, man. We've put out all that nihilistic, all our nihilistic tendencies to bed, and trust me, there's a lot of nihilistic tendencies in Atlanta. Every
right,
Atlanta sports team
right,
seems to be terrified of success. That
right.
it seems to be a pandemic.
Right. So you can follow me at the Lochness Podcast on YouTube. For those who haven't followed me, go ahead and follow me. Trying to get to my road to 250. Like I said, I need to be more consistent. I know life has been lifing. One of my dog been sick. My dog been really sick lately too. So that's why it's in other things and work and people at work. But
Yeah, I
I,
get it, brother,
I'm
man.
here.
I've just come
I'm
back
here.
from some health things that kind of ended my playing career, and I'm still not 100%, and the guys know that. But it's not how many times you get knocked down; it's how many times you get back up.
Exactly.
And we've got your back. We're
All
always
right.
here for you.
All right. Let's see. Hey, appreciate it. Like I said, give a shout out to everybody. King, Treyway, Smooth, Three Dirty, Patriots. We're gonna give you a shout out for being in here. Larry with a do. Southside, Ricky was happening. D Coleman, per usual, man. One of the, what I'm saying, day ones. So, before I even get into today's conversation, I want to speak on Julio Jones speaks. Did you have a chance to check out that interview he did?
Yeah, I did. So for me, I think somebody's lying. It's not my place to say who, but somebody's lying.
Okay.
um, like I'll let you kick off, but I just feel like somebody somewhere's not saying something. Like I know they have to try and be civil and all the rest of it, but the
Yeah.
way he's saying that, like me and Mike and Kay and Twan went in on it quite heavy a couple of nights ago because we were basically coming at it from the standpoint of who the fuck gave you the right to demand that you can just walk into the owner's office and have these words like you're a consideration, you're a great player, you're a huge asset to the franchise. That doesn't give you the right to walk into board meetings and have your say. You
Right.
ain't that type of guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like he was maybe expecting more than he was ever going to get, in that way. And I mean, you see the way some of the guys going out on trades, once their contracts are up, it's never very sanctimonious. There's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
some, they always seem done
It's
in some
never how
sort of
you
way.
do. It's never a good. Hey, thank you for the opportunity. It's more like you ain't paying me my money. All right, I'm out. You
Hmm.
know.
That's it.
And then it's funny, like after he left the Falcons, his career didn't even blossom after that.
No.
And I'm like,
And he was on some decent teams. I mean, he was on Philly for a minute. Tennessee
yeah,
wasn't as bad as they
Tennessee
are
was
now
all right,
then, and
and
nothing.
nothing.
But no, I feel like he just expected more
I
for
mean,
his service.
sometimes when you're that guy, he was arguably our best wideout.
Hell yeah.
So it's and playing through pain and sacrificing your body and stuff like that. You kind of feel like, hey, that warrants me some credibility. That warrants me some say so. And then sometimes that don't. Hey, man, you're still an employee.
Yeah.
Like you're
Still a
still an
business.
employee. I can't call my job and say, hey, let me speak to the boss of the RD. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
well, you gotta talk to the DM first. Then you talk to the RD. Then you talk to the person that's above him. Then you talk like you can't, but they
Hmm.
won't. You won't get past the RD. It won't get.
Yeah, no, chain of
At that
command.
point, I'll be like, why is this person talking to me for?
Yeah.
like, so. I mean, I get it. Sometimes we allow ourselves to believe that we have more credibility and stature than we do.
Yeah.
But most of the times,
Nah.
and I already know when they do these interviews, they got to do these soft-spoken conversations where you saying you want to shine yourself in a different light. Sometimes your light is brighter than others. So when you're shining on yourself, you like, hey, I tried to talk to these people. They just kept bouncing me around. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, especially if they
I feel
want
like
if yeah,
he's
especially if I
almost
hear
taking his own narrative now. I don't know if you agree with that, but I mean, we've seen the way that it plays out in many cases. So I don't know where, like, I don't see a lot of people coming out and trying to say that other players have been like, oh no, I feel like I should have been. You don't hear a lot of guys saying that. So I'm not going to sit here and say it was entitlement from Julio per se, but he definitely had some sort of severance package in his mind that he was never going to get. Do you know what I mean?
all right. Hey, we got another player in the building, man.
What's up,
Another one of
Blackberry?
my guys, Blackberry. What's happening?
What's
Yeah,
happening, fellas? What's happening?
man, we all
Doing
right,
good,
man.
doing good.
We right now we talking about. I finally looked at that Julio interview. What's your thoughts?
Uh huh.
What's your thoughts on that? That Julio.
On the pod, you talking about the
Yeah,
podcast?
the little podcast he had. He was sitting down talking about the trade situation of Arthur Blank and the Falcons, and how you felt about
Yeah.
it.
So I on fan speak earlier, I talked about how everybody know I'm an avid Julio Jones supporter, while everybody else is mad and up in arms about Julio Jones, and everybody want to give him a piece of their mind. I've been the one saying, "Hey man, y'all leave that alone. Y'all let that go, man. It's Julio Jones. He the best wide receiver we ever had. He the GOAT
Yes,
receiver. Yeah, he my guy. I got his jersey. I don't buy jerseys a whole lot, but that's the jersey I got, man. So I've been the one, supporting him. So supporting for, hey man, let Arthur and Julio figure that out in due time whenever they figure it out. Let's just let that be what it is. But that was before I saw the podcast,
yeah.
because now my sentiment is, while I still feel the same way. I'm not like everybody else. Well, it's fuck Julio Jones. I'm not like that with everybody else. But what I will say is something has been confirmed for me about Julio that I think I already knew, but now I'm for certain I know this about Julio. And that is that he's just still very immature and still
Mm,
very ignorant to how the real world works.
mm,
Yeah,
Because when I watched that podcast, and Harry Douglas asked him, "Is there a possibility?" And I'm paraphrasing, "Is there a possibility of reconciliation between him and basically Arthur Blank, not necessarily the Falcons, but Arthur Blank?" Um, he said no. He said he good, and you seen the look on Harry's face, like really, and on Roddy's face,
right. You were looking like, what you
like
talking about?
like we all sat here and expressed how we feel like the communication between management and players can be better. We all done expressed that
Yeah,
here on this show, but really, you ain't even thinking about reconciliation.
that's my fact.
So a part of being a man, okay, is accepting that we don't get nowhere with uh holding on to animosity or grief. And you can say all think of what he was saying in the interview was, hey, it ain't no sweat on off my back though. I ain't tripping or nothing, but nah, I'm good. So clearly, you still in your feelings about something.
hmm
You can't contradict yourself and say, nah, you good, but it ain't bothering. You ain't trying to go and look for no risk. Like, listen, man, let's just keep this 100. You and your feelings, okay? And
yeah, I
you
agree with
want
that.
for Arthur Blank, yeah, he wants for Arthur Blank to run behind him and chase him and hey Julio, man, why don't you come by the house and let's talk about it. That's what he wants. Let's be
Mm,
real. That's what he wants, but he ain't gonna say that.
Yeah,
He want to
and
be
as you say,
chased.
it speaks to a lack of maturity because as a man, we like any other man, we get up, we put our trousers on one leg at a time, we go out there, we fucking make mistakes, but you own them as much as you can, and you go, look, I messed up here. Is there any way that we can maybe? I'm not putting any onus on you. I fucked up. Maybe you fucked up too. That is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But as men, we need to be able to sit down here and go, look, what's happened, and try and iron something out. Because like that's the one thing I'm not seeing from Julio that I've seen from other players in the past is he's not throwing his hands up and admitting the mistakes that he's made, and there have
Right.
been some. We
you
can
know,
all
you
see
know
that, but
that.
he won't admit that. Whereas the Falcons are going, did we handle it badly? Yeah, maybe we did, but it's all boiling down to the fact that he wanted more out of that than the actual businessmen who run the business were prepared to offer him. I think that's
That
just kind of what I got from it.
yeah, that reminds me like, and I think Will is in the back. I don't know if that's Will trying to come on, but I think he's muted. but of the Grady Jarrett situation where they was probably like, hey, let's go ahead and reconstruct your contract, and he was just like, nah, man, I want this extra 12 or whatever million, and they was just like, well, look at your numbers, and it was just like you couldn't come to an agreement. It's like, okay, we're gonna ship you on. So, like I said, at the end of the day, it's a business, like you mentioned before. It's a business. So on the business end, you're a great player, but it's certain things that we want for they want you to be, and this is how most companies work. They want you to give more than you receive.
Right.
There's a
100%.
pun
Absolutely.
intended for a receiver to be Julio Jones, and pun intended. They want you to give more than you receive. No matter how good and how great of a player you were, they still want you to do more with less. Like, hey man, we can give you,
Yeah.
cut you this, and you probably like, hey man, I was like the best in the league. Me and Matt Ryan, we was like a tandem that was uncanny. Like so, but at the end of the day, um, it's a business. Everybody
And then
knows
you'll get your naysayers that will come out and say, oh, but if Grady's not taking that team-friendly deal and he's looking out for himself, was he really a
right.
Falcon? And it's like, nah, stop with all that. Money talks. As the old saying goes, money talks and bullshit walks. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So if we weren't going to come to some agreement that would suit both him financially and get us back what we were wanting in terms of production, then there is nowhere else that we can really go with that, is there? So we need to look for somewhere else that he can play.
All right. Okay, we got the other wheel. We got the Reaper in here. What's
It's good.
happening?
Well,
Yeah, man. What's that? You using the app too, bro? You using the app?
Uh,
Yeah. Uh,
nah, I'm
Yeah,
using.
because
nah,
I
he
ain't got
on the
no face
browser.
right now. It came through the app part on me, man.
No, I'm using. I'm on my computer.
I don't know what
Mm.
the
That's
hell.
that's crazy. You're gonna be the faceless. So
All
what you
right.
think?
God
What you think about?
damn.
Well, I was like, man, did they you? Like, I don't know. Like, I was like, is he up there? Like, so the no face. All right. So what you
No
feel
face,
about
no.
Julio Jones? About
What's up
Julio
with you, Dirty
Jones?
Texas boy?
Julio Jones speaking about what's happening, Christy. Um,
Oh, they already know how I feel about that Julio Jones. I don't believe nothing that motherfucker saying, bro. He gave folks some truth, but not the whole truth.
I mean, I came here represent my number 11 jersey, but it just got a different person name on it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hell
know,
yeah.
That
it just have
that's
a
gonna
different.
be.
I came here with the number
Hey,
11, but it's just a little
we
different.
can't knock what he did for the franchise.
Yeah,
He was a beast. Yeah, he
absolutely,
was a beast. He was a beast. But the way
absolutely.
he left was some pussy shit. The way he left was some pussy shit. So
Yeah, and the new number 11 tells you everything you need to know. Maybe if you had shook the right hands and conducted yourself a bit more accordingly, maybe we'd be telling Jalen, no, you can't get number 11. That's about to be retired. Maybe we'd be having a completely different conversation here, but that's on Julio, not anyone
yeah,
else.
he had, bro. You had 5 years to got there and explain what happened, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, but
you had plenty of time to explain what happened, bro. Now you come
Mhm.
on that podcast talking about you tried to call this man because you didn't want Dan Quinn fired. We know the real reason why you tried to call this man, bro. Because
mm,
trade talk didn't happen until goddamn you decided not to talk to the new regime, bro. Okay, if he's not trying to talk to the new guy we hired, we might as well get him out of here. We don't want no disgruntled players in the
yeah,
locker room. You know what I'm saying?
they said
With a
they.
new regime,
Yeah,
we
Yeah,
trying to start something fresh here. If you don't want to be
yeah.
here, we're gonna go ahead. They ain't
yeah,
have to put you on no contender team. They sent you to a
No eye
contender.
greater than we.
The
yeah.
Tennessee Titans was contender at that time. They sent you to a contender team. I would have sent you at Jacksonville. It was like,
Mhm.
get the fuck out of here quick. I wouldn't give a
Or
damn. You would have been
Cleveland, where
Jacksonville
careers
or the
go to
Jets.
die, somewhere like that.
You would have been Jacksonville or the Jets somewhere, bro. Could have
Legit.
sent your ass somewhere like that. They sent you to a contender, nigga. You still ain't did that since you left Atlanta.
Yeah, he ain't did nothing, man. Like it's like a downward
Like
spiral after that. Mm.
like what we talked about.
He
We talked about
retired.
that earlier. Yeah, yeah. What we talked about earlier, bro. Like, think about it. How many players you seen come out and talk bad about Uncle Blank besides Julio Jones just now? That's what I'm saying.
You
We
the
gotta be
only
buck
person,
with it. We gotta
man.
be a buck with it, bro. This man been what? How long he been on the week? When he came into 2002,
Yeah, it's been a
Come on,
minute.
man. This man got 2 decades in. You the only one that talking bad about this guy. But if this man's such a bad dude, why the hell I'm paying you a new contract? You got 3 years left on your goddamn on your contract.
Exactly. You waited
Come
till
on,
that
bro.
guarantee ran out, and then you
Come
got your
on,
new
man.
deal. You knew exactly what you were doing.
All
I
right.
think what Julio got to think about is if let's say that story he gave was legit. Let's say that's legit what happened.
Mhm.
You need to think about your maturity level, man. Because I thought I ain't gonna go too much deeper into it, but that's what I talked about this morning was these student athletes, they so coddled and babied. They go into the league, they still boys going into a man's game, and some
Mhm.
of them just don't have the right people around them to help them grow up because they're not gonna do it on their own because they used to being coddled and babied. So now you
Mhm.
finna
Right.
give somebody that's coddled and babied, you finna give them millions of dollars to play with, and they ain't got the right people around them to help them grow up around that ego that they already got.
Boy, look like a shade turtle. Hey, but look, think about it. Oh boy. Hey man, but like, damn, you made me lose my train of thought. What the fuck I was finna say? Oh man,
Mm.
damn, you're gonna come back to me. Y'all keep talking. You're gonna come back to me. God damn.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and talk about what the show is really about. I just wanted to talk about Julio speaking. Um, my show is is the Atlanta Falcons keeping Kirk Cousins as a mid-season trade piece. That's what my show is initially about. But I wanted to tackle two different type of takes before I even go into this. You know, keeping Kirk Cousins before I even dissect all of that.
Mhm.
I want to talk about it, the good or the bad, or good or bad. Kyle Pitts undisclosed injury. I didn't even know this man was hurt.
Yep. Neither did I. But apparently, it's a plantar strain, so it's the base of his foot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nasty one. Depending. Uh, I hope he bounces back, but this is the first I'm really hearing about this. He wasn't going into. He never mentioned at any point during OTAs. I'm struggling a little bit here. I'll kit up, but I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do. We never heard a word of that, so this is all pretty new. Um, and I feel like it's a bit of a severe knock to try and hide like that, especially as you're rolling into like mandatory OTAs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
It was kind of a head scratcher when I first heard about it, like a week ago. But I was also thinking, like, is it something that was like a ploy? Like they had a discussion, like you know how sometimes these people are like, hey, we might be moving you on over
Mhm.
here, and you like, nah, man, I ain't playing, or whatever, or y'all didn't pick up my fifth year option. Like, what's going on? Like I feel like sometimes people will say, hey, I'm not gonna play, so I'm not gonna attend, no, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm hurt. You like,
Well, I
what you
thought
hurt?
about that was maybe something to do with the trade calls because I mean I don't know how much credence you want to put in Bleacher Report, but according to those guys, we've already had calls from Pittsburgh, Denver, Green Bay, and who's the other one? Denver, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, New England, all
Mm.
in regards to is Kyle Pitts going to be so. I don't know if
Hey,
I would say the
Blackberry say
injury's
he in the
legit
back.
because you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to hide an injury. You're not going to lie about an injury when you're this close to potentially being a trade piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the injury is legit, but it's just can he bounce back and produce to a level where we are going to get enough back to warrant that? Do you know what I mean? I worry that if he can't produce this year, that we are going to get chump change back.
So that's the
And
next part. That's the next part of the question.
He
Is
probably
this the next part of the
he
question? Hold on.
probably could have hurt himself. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say this before you say that. So with him being injured, do you think they should come off of him now, real quick? because his stock goes down because he was hurt, came back, gave you regular numbers for my tight end. People want him to have wide receiver numbers, but he had same even kill numbers. But does his trade stock go down now? Now it's like, okay, now we keep him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. I think that if his trade stock's down, the amount we are going to be required to pay him is going to go down as well because he's not hitting 1,000 yards a season. He's not hitting 8 touchdowns a season or any elite tight end marks, which means that we can maybe get away with paying him a little less, especially because we've got a few bodies coming up that we need to pay. McGarry's coming up at the end of the year as well. There's some big money needs to be talked about at the end of the year. So I think if he is going to have to be, is he going to take a team friendly deal? I think if he wants to stay in Atlanta, otherwise we're going to kind of have to shop him around personally. But a lot can still happen. I mean, we're still 60 days until the start of preseason, so all we can do is wait and see, I guess. But that's how I'm feeling now. Like, I feel like he stays a Falcon, but it all depends. It's going to be an interesting year to see what he brings to the table for sure, especially now that he's had this sort of worry in his foot.
Yeah, I don't think he's going nowhere. I think this is one of Michael Pennett's MPJ toys right here. And I don't think he's going. That's how he hurt himself. He's working out this offseason. I think he hurt himself then, trying to go hard in the offseason.
Okay.
But hopefully it ain't that bad. I don't think it's that bad. They say they think he'll be ready for training camp and all that, but but it'd be dumb for them not to listen to trade calls. It'd be dumb for them not to pick up the phone. You feel what I'm saying? That's their job. They got to listen to see what people got to say. But I don't think he's going nowhere.
Southside, he's cool with his not.
Oh my bad, George Tixbot, what's happening?
Yeah, George Tixbot was up.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to get the shout outs in the chat. Keep them coming, guys. Was just going to say as well, like his physical measurables are off the chart. I mean, dude's 6'6", 248 pounds, and runs a 4.48 He's a specimen and an athletic freak. But what's the one thing that's been missing his whole career? Consistency from the quarterback position. This is the first off season where he's maybe got the chance to do that. So I hope he can get back on his feet pretty quickly because I feel like he needs those reps. Hopefully he stays in Atlanta Falcon, like you say. Hopefully we can work out something to pay him. But I feel like a lot of people have been saying it on the dirt sheets, as it were, as well, that a big measure of how Kyle Pitts is progressing is going to be, you've got your guy now. You've got Michael Penix all year long. What now you've got what you need. What can you do for this kind of thing? But again, it depends if he can come back from this foot strain or not.
All right. What you think, Blackberry?
Well, I'd trade the hell out of his ass in a heartbeat. I'd trade his ass right now. But
no sympathy.
You know nothing is goddamn Blackberry.
I had to. I know he was one of the first people he was talking about trading during the draft. Like, get rid of that guy.
I would have traded. I would trade the shit out of him. But I say it like that, and people think that, I don't like Kyle Pitts. It's the furthest from the truth. I like Kyle Pitts. I like what he could possibly bring to this offense. I like the possibilities of this offense being so unstoppable with Kyle Pitts in the mix that I get goosebumps thinking about it. But what I get even more excited about is what I could get in return for Kyle Pitts on the defensive side of the ball, in the interior defensive lineman category area. I still want that guy who we know gonna push that pocket and generate pressure over 60% of his snaps. I know that guy is out there, and Kyle Pitts is the key to getting him. I don't know who. I'm thinking somebody with the Jets, maybe, but I ain't gonna say nothing else about that. But I know that guy's out there, and Kyle Pitts is the key to getting him. But if he plays out this season, they're gonna give him a contract. Ain't no way in the world they finna let him walk into free agency and then get nothing for him. That's why I say it's either he gonna be traded by the trade deadline, or he gonna be
Yeah.
issued a contract after the trade deadline. He's gonna be given an offer. They're not gonna wait till after the season because that would be stupid. Because if he balls out and he looked like he looked like Julio Jones at tight end, or he looked like Megatron at tight end, his agent gonna be asking for even more money. So you're gonna have to give him an offer. You're gonna have to get him closed before like either right before the trade deadline or right after.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can see that. I just I'm on board with you, Blackberry, just with the whole idea of, I mean, we can have a dominant defense, but if we got an unstoppable offense, it makes the defense even like more fierce because they can do a lot more because it's gonna get people to try to like. That's one of the things that I liked about, and I hate to bring this up, and shout out to Patriot 12. That's one thing I liked about the Patriots at one point in time with the way they would run up the scoreboard. If you couldn't match them touchdown for touchdown, you're losing. That's just how it was. If you couldn't match them touchdown for touchdown, that's pretty much how we looked in 2016, man, when we had one of them offenses that with Matt Ryan and Julio, when it was just looking unstoppable, man. It was just looking unstoppable on all facets of the game. We just looked at like a complete team. And like you said, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about the team we have now. We have a complete team.
Yeah. And you know what they say, offense and points wins games, but defense wins championships. Now I genuinely feel like we have the type of guys on the field that are going to go and play to stop these guys from getting these points. Like, I just feel like, I don't know if you can feel the shift in like the whole way we conduct ourselves on defense. But I mean, look at the way the boys were hitting the sleds today. They are ready to kill. This is going to be a fun season, yo. I guarantee it.
Yeah, definitely that, man. And they sleeping on my boy. I'm trying to get his jersey too. They sleeping on JPJ, and they sleeping on him. They sleeping on him. I don't know why they did that, but
ain't nobody sleeping on him. They talking about that dude more.
They talking about him now. They talking about him now because this is who they were really talking about. This is who they were talking about. They weren't talking about JPJ.
Well, no, you know, JPJ was their original pick. They didn't expect Walker to be there.
Yeah, my whole draft process, that was my guy. I wanted JPJ, but when Jalen was there, how do you turn that up? That boy is a dog.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so we're gonna go to the next take. Pretty much what my show is. I want to know how y'all feel. Do you really think he said, "Okay, I'll be here for the team," or was it he couldn't find no team that was gonna pick him up? Was it because he did like his little media day? You know, they do the little media day and they talk about how they're gonna be there. You know, they know how to talk to the press. You know, the professionalism and all that stuff. I was seeing people talking about he's so professional, but I'm thinking in my head, this is the same guy who whined after Michael Penix Jr. got picked up.
Yeah.
And, you know what
I think it boils down to, again, it kind of ties together this and the Julio thing. It speaks to his maturity because, I felt some kind of way, I'm not going to lie, about when he was shipping himself around trying to go, oh no, I've still got something to give as a starter. Okay. Now that he realises that's not going to be the case for him, he's had to swallow his own pride, and I feel like it takes a huge amount of humility to take that on the chin and go, okay, so nobody wants me to be a starter. Okay, I'm going to be the number one backup in the league. I can appreciate the drive and the sentiment, but after the way he's acted this offseason, we're still watching when we're still listening. I don't trust completely that he's invested fully in our process because he's not been there since day one in the trenches with the guys, getting the work done, having his chats, his get-togethers with Mike Penix as well. He's not been doing any of that. But at the same time, I'm not going to completely vilify the man, because it takes balls to go, no, this isn't my place anymore. It's yours. But I'm here. I've got to give that to him.
Yeah, I agree with Miss Pam said. Auntie said, man, if he wanted the Super Bowl ring, he would have just waived his no trade clause and he could have just been moved on. But he wanted to go where he wanted to go. I mean, you already paid.
Mm-hmm.
Get up out of here. What you think, Black Bear?
Yeah, please go somewhere else and let someone else take that horrendous contract off their hands.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke screen. For exactly, partly for what Aunt Pam just said. If he, as soon as he got a inkling that somebody's gonna pick him up to be a starter there for their team, he would have waived that no trade clause. It wouldn't matter who it was. If you really just want the opportunity to go start again, you know that most of the league already got who they want at quarterback. So you know you can't really take no chances on missing time being available for somebody to get you. So if he really wanted to be out of Atlanta, he would have waived no trade clause. This is all smoke screen. He in cahoots with Terry Fontenot and the Atlanta Falcons front office. I'm convinced of it now. And can't nobody tell me no different.
Catfish Kirk.
Laz was just dropped in the chat there by Christy. He's got to kind of go to work with the situation he's in. This is what you brought on yourself. You wanted to start somewhere else and you can't, but maybe that's not what he wanted. As you say, he could have waived the no trade clause, so maybe he genuinely wants to be here. He's come into that kind of mentor vein fairly well. And I don't see the downside to the mentor side of things, because I mean, bringing a young QB in who's already quote unquote pro ready, and then you put on top of him the advice of 3 high level proven NFL quarterbacks, I don't see any drawback personally. What advice he takes from each of them and adds to his own skill set, it's up to him at the end of the day. But it's sponge season, and I think he's going to use that to his advantage as well. So I'm not mad at it, all things considered.
I don't know what the hell Blackbeard talking about. That man wanted to be traded. I don't want to hear that shit. That boy want to start.
Okay, so why he ain't waiving no trade clause when
because he want to be in control. He think he in control of the situation. He overplayed his card. He overplayed his card. I really think he overplayed them cards.
You really think he that stupid? We talking about
did you not hear his interview today? You can hear
quarterback
Black Bear. Go listen to the man interview. You can hear the nigga want to be a starter right now. He wants to be a starter, bro.
That man was reading from a cue card. He might have had a cue card right there. He was reading.
Yeah, that man wants to be a starter, bro.
He said it.
I don't doubt that he want to be a starter. I don't doubt that, but I also
he didn't lift the no trade clause because nobody would guarantee them that they wouldn't put a young quarterback behind him. He want the guarantee of I want to start and I don't want y'all to grab no
and that's the point. He ain't that damn stupid. That's why he didn't waive the no trade clause. He ain't that stupid.
Because he'll rather be a backup here where his wife from and love. He always here than to be back up somewhere else.
He'd rather be comfortable than uproot his family on a maybe. Look, you already know what it is here. You're not starting unless the young brother fall off a damn
nobody would guarantee him that. That's what the problem was. Nobody would give him that guarantee.
That's what I'm saying. He know he ain't gonna get that guarantee. He know he ain't finna get that.
But think about that too. If the young buck does go down, we are sitting with arguably the best backup quarterback in the league right now.
You
could say Cleveland, but we're right in that conversation. You moving? You moving the goalpost. That ain't the argument. The argument was, do we think it's smoke screen that he wanted to be traded? No. His ass wanted to be traded. He just couldn't get the situation he wanted. That's the thing. So don't you keep trying to move the goalpost. Don't you keep trying to move the goalpost about no damn smoke screen.
It's all a smoke screen. It's all a smoke screen. Let me put it this way. We hear what he's saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do his actions match his words?
We know his play though. Like he wasn't around for the first little go around, right?
Nope. He showed up in April. He showed up in April. He showed up. He just didn't show up to OTA.
When are we talking about? Is it matching his word? We forgot he went on the little interviews saying, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't hurt and all this. He still got good. He still got startup qualities in him. So yeah, he won. This ain't part of no damn play.
All part of the plan. All part of the plan. All part of the strategy. Because a lot of what a team lets get out, other teams gonna move based off of what they hear going on in another camp, going on in another organization. Okay, so we know the Falcons sitting there 15. We know they only got 5 picks in this draft. We know they already got $180 million quarterback on the roster, but they saying they're gonna start their rookie. Of course, Kirk Cousins won't side it up. Of course, we'll be able to wait before we make a decision on a quarterback. Look how long it took for Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers to come to some kind of deal. Do you think that was all because Aaron Rodgers just want to twiddle his damn thumbs and play Master Roshi? You think that's all that was? No, that Pittsburgh was trying to buy as much time as they could to see if Kirk Cousins was gonna lift that no trade clause. As much time as they could. In the meantime, what happens? What happened in the meantime? Come on, think about it. Think about these contracts. Think about these deals, these signings.
Yeah, they did move some. I seen a couple of people. Hold on, they got some good money. Chubb got some money. Let's see. Moved on. Shador got his. It seems like he's the starter.
Think about it, man. You think about the division. Think about Tampa and Carolina and the Skanks. Is in it. We already knew the Skanks. They was in cap here. We knew it wasn't gonna be a lot they could do. But Carolina and Tampa, they could possibly have made some bigger moves. They could have made some things happen. They sat on their hands. They sat on their hands most of this all season. Everything they did was draft and draft night and pre-draft. They've been sitting on their hands because what they doing? They waiting to see what the Falcons gonna do with Kirk Cousins. Are they gonna? Is the Falcons gonna free up cap space? Are they gonna get into where they can go get some more pieces? Or are they gonna have $27 million sitting on the bench for 2025? What they gonna do?
We all know they wait for us. We all know they wait for us to drop them and release them. We know that, Blackberry, but you're going away from what you arguing. You argue that it's a smoke screen, but where is the smoke screen?
I just told you. I just gave
you. That ain't no smoke screen. You're stating all the obvious.
Yeah, he said smoke and mirrors. You don't want to show your hand. You saying what he out.
You saying what we already know. That's not smoke and screen.
Yeah. So that's what my next take is about. My next take is.
He left the trade clause because nobody would guarantee him a starting job, and that they won't bring competition. Everybody, we know it. We saw the whole thing, bro. He ain't gonna say it. He gonna try to be hard.
Didn't he mention he was gonna wait till after the draft, or somebody mentioned that he was gonna wait till after the draft, so they won't draft a young quarterback, so he won't go to a team.
And the reason why Pittsburgh waited on Aaron Rodgers because they ain't had no other choice. They ain't had no other choice. They were gonna be going into the season with fucking Rudolph, whatever his name is, Rudolph something.
Nah, they still had time. They had plenty. They could have kept on waiting.
Who
Yeah,
they could have got Black Bear?
No, I
they
said they
trying to
could have kept on waiting.
they
They
trying to
could
get
have waited some.
OTA started.
Yeah, the closer you get to count time, the closer you
Mm-hmm.
get to count time, the sooner you got to make choices. And what our division opponents been doing, sitting on their damn hands. We done came up on mandatory mini count. We finna have 5 weeks off. You think 5 weeks is a lot of time to give a team to make real important decisions on who finna be in training camp?
Well, they wanted to build their cohesion, so they need a starter quarterback in place to build their cohesion, man.
Well, if this is like I say, this is my next takedown on that. Are we keeping him just so when it's that mid-season like trade, then because I'm pretty sure some people gonna be down. Do we give him up then?
Yeah, because now you got to go play some football now to know what is up. Now you
Mm.
have to go play some football. Nothing's gonna if something get done now before a team need a quarterback for whatever reason. So a quarterback get hurt, a quarterback decide to retire, whatever the case is. If a deal happen now, it's gonna be because it's something that's already been in the works. We
Mm.
just ain't been hearing about it. But I seriously doubt something happened between now and the trade deadline. It's gonna get it. That's the only way we gonna really be able to know if it was smoke screen or not. Right now,
Yeah.
right now I'm kind of looking like a mad genius. Right now, I'm kind of looking real smart right now because
That,
I done predicted all this shit this offseason. Everybody told me I was crazy. Black man, you crazy, Black man. They gonna trade back into the first and keep they 15. You crazy, Blackberry.
yeah, you
Tell you,
did. You did say that. You did say that. I
I
I
said
I
we was
want to I want
gonna
to put my hat in
draft.
there too. I want to put my hat in there too. I did say if we got out here and got nothing but defensive players with all our picks, I wouldn't have been mad. And one offensive player.
Oh,
We drafted exactly how I said we would.
so you seen them get Jalen Walker and Pierce? That what you saying?
No,
I ain't say
I
that. I
said
just
they
said
was
we
going.
get
I
all
didn't say
defensive
that.
players and one offense.
I
I mean,
still.
all and one offensive
That's
player.
what me
Well,
and Ty both said that. And I
That's
predicted
all I
that
said.
offensive player was gonna be an offensive lineman
You
in the
did say it was
last round.
offensive lineman. I remember that.
Yeah, and if you were ever going to make those predictions and have them come true, let's face it, look at the last 3 or 4 seasons. We had to go defense heavy. We had to.
so so we finna really act like that. These folk that send the all defensive staff to the combine.
Hey, it
And
is what
so we
it
finna
is.
act like they sent a whole defensive staff. They told the offense folks stay at home, don't even come. They sent the
Mhm.
whole defensive staff to the combine. We knew they were gonna go defense. They had no choice.
I mean, they had choices. They just
Who
made it
what
obvious.
spot we got open for them to go for an offensive player in the first round?
Yeah, but how
If
many
we would
players
have,
did we draft that actually did the combine? Oh,
huh?
How many players that
how
they
many players did we draft that actually
That don't mean that all
participated
the
in the
players was
combine?
there. They got to interview them players. The combine ain't all about workout. The interviews are important.
Yeah,
And Shadur Sallah learned the hard way.
that that's true. They are important.
I wanna highlight something about whatever said. Where we at? Where we at right here?
Hold up,
Mm.
Mike. Don't you start your shit today, Michael. Talking about they told the offensive player to stay at home. Offensive staff stay at home with Grady.
I want to. I made a Grady. Before you got here, I mentioned something about Grady Jarrett too, just FYI. But
I
I
heard you. I was in the background. I was in the
yeah, about
background.
whatever, about whatever said. Nobody was gonna really try to pick him up after the season that he had last year. Is that? Do you feel like that really stipend him getting traded or having more suitors that would want him, a veteran QB? Because he did look terrible. The back end, the latter half of the
Yeah,
his time
that
on the field.
nobody was gonna trade for this nigga with that much money on his head. The only way somebody was gonna sign this dude is if we dropped him, if we cut him, because we'll be reliable for that money. But when nobody
Mm.
gonna trade for that man with that book like that,
You
20
know, you
something
know,
million, you got to pay this dude.
you know what's funny though? As soon as he go to somewhere else, you know they're gonna forget about what he did last season. They're gonna be praising him and raising him up like they always do. Everybody we drop or go somewhere else, they always look at him like they so much better now.
100%. Wait till you see the Pitts unicorn memes. If we ever ship him out, he'll all of a sudden become this mythical creature again.
Big facts. So yeah, I haven't. I want to speak on this too. He hasn't shown anybody he has done anything. Right now, it's just talking. Right now,
True.
he's just talking. He ain't throwing no football. His hand. I don't know what was hurting on him. His elbow or something. What was hurting?
What are you
That
talking
he
about?
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins. Yeah, what was hurting on him
That
that
shoulder
he
was
didn't?
hurting, that
So he didn't
ankle.
tell anybody to the end of the season. He showed him.
Well, you remember he
Yeah, but he's
told them
trying
that
to
they
play.
put him on the injury list for like a week. Then he went. Then he went back off of it. I'll tell you, he was
Mm.
on an injury list for a couple of days. Then he went back off of it because he felt like if he sit down, he wasn't gonna get that starting job back.
Yeah, and the way he paints it out is that he didn't even realize how hurt he was until the season dragged on. I don't know how much I believe that personally, but that's what he's saying.
Mm. Especially when you start seeing the other team's colors looking like your colors, you just throw it straight to them. Just kept throwing it to them.
Mm.
Like so I can get it. I get it. You know. I want to bring this up right here. QB2. Chrissy said QB2 can play in the regular season. He'll be beneficial every bye week. The NFL has 4 scenarios to play QB2. 3 are not related to injuries. So I don't consider him a QB2. I look at Kirk Cousins as like I said, honestly, I don't think he wants to be here. I mean, I'm pretty sure they was talking him up like we want Kirk Cousins, all the smoke and mirrors that they was giving out about how we want to keep Kirk Cousins. He's we want him here, knowing dang on well we don't want this man here. The mindset for me is if in the mid season, they also somebody mentioned in the chat like who would trade for Kirk Cousins in the middle of the season. It's a lot of injuries that could happen to people's quarterbacks.
That's
Where
his best bet. Yeah, that's his
yeah,
best bet.
so that's when he's gonna be like, hey, such and such is taking a call. So my thing about that is, what would you, knowing that a team really, really needs this guy, what would we want for him? What would we want for a Kirk Cousins? Saying if a team has an injury,
Picks.
like what picks? Like what would be something that you would ask a team? Like they in dire need of a quarterback. We can just go on, my guy. And they willing to
Terry
take up that 27 or however much left is on the contract.
Terry is very good at getting what he wants. And I think he could pull a fourth round pick out of behind. I think he could pull out a fourth round pick. I think he
That
could
would
pull
be
out
nice.
a fourth and an even later pick to go along with it. I think
Shit,
he
that
could.
motherfucker get a third
Mm.
when somebody hurt their quarterback in the season. We can get a
I
fourth
was
right now in the season. We could have got a fourth. Now,
I was thinking a third, possibly. I was thinking a third, possibly. Yeah,
Mm.
but I don't, hey,
we'll take a fourth if they take the whole contract with them. We'll take a fourth.
you
Yeah, give me a fourth.
and give
Mhm.
me, and then I'm thinking too, Easton Stick. He's kind of like the he's kind of like the odd number in this equation because Do I really want to trust my backup quarterback is Easton Stick? Do I really want to trust that? And miss me with the well, he's used to Zach Robinson because they work together in LA. I don't give a damn. I don't care. He's Eastern Stick. I don't know. I went back and watched a little bit of his film, basically really just highlights. I I don't see nothing special about Eastern Stick, but most importantly, I don't see anything about Eastern Stick that would make me say, okay, our offense is going to be okay with Eastern Stick managing the game. So do we? Go ahead.
You'll keep Kirk Cousins over stick it to him. No, did it?
Absolutely. Hey man, think about this, y'all, because I just seen somebody in the comment section say, I wouldn't have paid Kirk. I would have never paid Kirk Cousins. How much has it really hurt the Falcons that they guaranteed Kirk Cousins $100 million? How much has it hurt us?
And then because if you spread it out the contract, it was actually a friendly contract.
Exactly.
If you spread it out the contract, yeah, he was getting like 20-something million. That's damn good.
And not only that, you're going into the season now where he was going to get another lump sum of it, and you got the best draft class that everybody's admitting that you ever had. You were able to restructure Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell's contracts. Oh, y'all forgot about that.
If they really don't,
has it hurt him?
Right. If they really ain't paying attention, Terry's been clicking these books, bro, since he got here. So he ain't really told nothing that hurt us, really. We looked at what we did in the offseason. We looked at that $100 million guaranteed, and everybody was in uproar about that, but not seeing how it was spread it out. You see what I'm saying? We were looking at, oh shit, they getting this man $100 million. Broke down that nigga with torn Achilles.
Yeah, I feel like that a lot with
Jesse's too, Jordan Taylor boy.
You're seeing that a lot with the contracts recently. They're getting so out of control now that you really need to start looking into the finer details of what makes that contract up before you really comment. And I feel like we've been fielding comments for 2 years now about how rotten the fact that we picked up and paid Kirk that much is, and it's like I don't think it was really as bad as you say. As you say, when you break it down, look at how much was guaranteed every year, and it really wasn't that bad for us, and we were able to reschedule to shore up. So I'm with you.
All right.
Yeah, Lindstrom. Rather, it wasn't Bates, it was Lindstrom that restructured.
Yeah. So we keeping Kirk Cousins, saying if somebody needs him in the middle of the season before the trade deadline, we give him up. They take the rest of his contract, and Mike said like a fourth round, a fourth and fifth. We should be good. Like I said, I don't have a problem with him sitting on the bench. Like you mentioned before, with them, I mean, I'm not even gonna speak on that. Like if he ever has to come into the game, so I'm gonna just say, he needs to heal up and be game ready in any given Sunday. Because, like I said, even in the preseason, he's gonna be throwing the ball, so we're gonna see what he's doing. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
you know how they
100%.
You know how they put the
just
back
one more
like,
thing as well.
QB2 go in, they're gonna be Kirk Cousins. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. And just thinking like hypothetically, it's just a crazy scenario. The whole Cousins situation now, because I feel like we are controlling what the rest of the NFC South do. Like as you say, they haven't made a move. Tampa's not made a move. Neither's Carolina, and it's like it's a strange feeling, and I don't want to kind of go too far on it, but do you not feel like almost we have the power in the South? everyone else is watching what we're doing.
Right. Definitely that, because I mean, all the other teams look like, I ain't gonna lie, they look like trash, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Saints got going on. It's just, and then with the old boy retiring, it was just like, it was a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, bro, like,
Yeah, I know, and another thing as well. Here's an interesting one for you. I like this kid coming into the draft. Obviously he's in Cleveland now, but how many QBs are in Cleveland now? So a few of these boys are surplus to requirement. So if we ship out Kirk, we can maybe, if we get a decent like package in place for him, I'd like that kid Dylan Gabriel out of Oregon that Cleveland took. He's not bad as a backup. I wouldn't mind bringing him across.
But he's not gonna go to Cleveland, man, to be no backup to Shador.
No, he's already there. There's 5 QBs in Cleveland, but I'm just saying, like, regardless of where he goes, if we're now looking for a backup quarterback, Cleveland's the place to go, because they have got like 6 QBs on the roster right now, and quite a few of them are not going to be there when their rookie deal expires. I feel they ain't getting 5th-year options. Right. No chance.
All right, we got the Q&A. Do y'all have any questions, panelists? Do y'all have any questions for us? Chat, do y'all have any questions for the panelists? I got a question, though. I always got something. I got a question for whoever wants to answer it.
I'll take that
one. Whoever wants to answer it. They're talking about JPJ being the rookie of the year. Do you feel like that will be accurate, or they just hyping him up because they seeing what he can be or who he is? Like I said, they talking about him now, so they're saying that he can be the rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. Do you think that'll be accurate, or you feel like it'll be some other people that can probably hold that title? Because I know he's on our team.
Be right in that mix.
I know we be buying sometimes the people on our team.
So for me, there's a whole heap on that can be fine for that.
Oh,
there's a whole heap on. But I think we just happy because we got a defensive player for the first time in a long ass time, and it's a Georgia player at that.
Okay.
We got 2 SEC players. You know what I'm saying? So I think folks just happy right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I
think he'll be competing with Jalen as well. I think that much is obvious, but I think both those boys are coming to play. And from what I've been seeing the last maybe week or 10 days, do not sleep on Billy Bowman. That kid looks immaculate. He's looking in fantastic shape, and he's making some real good plays.
He's looking better than Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Who that?
Billy Bowman.
Billy Bowman is looking better than Xavier Watts. That was crazy, bro. I was not expecting us to pull off. I did not expect us to get Xavier Watts, and I sure didn't see us getting Billy Bowman. That was crazy.
He made the best out of them 5 picks.
But I did not see this man getting Xavier Watts. That was crazy. I was like, what is going on?
He went old school. You know, we know your mama gave you a little budget when you went to the store for. Don't spend over this. Yeah. And I want this right here. I want some steak. You better get the off brand. Yeah.
I think JPJ is an impact player. He's a plug and play type player. Walker, plug and play.
Absolutely.
100%. This is a defense that's really coming to not just change its identity around the league, but we're coming for some scalps this year, I feel. I don't want to be one of these guys who sounds like going too far to the good and just being like, oh, I can't fault that. I'm finding it very difficult to find anything wrong with our draft class this year. All the way down to Jack Nelson, even the UDFA guys, I feel like we really hit the ball at the park this year. I feel like for the first time in a couple of seasons, I trust the process. You feel me? I actually see where they're going, and I like it.
I want to piggyback on what you said about trusting the process, and my one verse, my therapist's voice. He always used to talk about all of us used to talk about, building a team and building a team the right way, and going through the processes is not going to look good. We're not going to pick the picks that you like. We're not going to pick up the people that you like. But this, like I said, and I know it's cliche for us to be like, man, I'm excited to see what we do this year, but honestly, man, I ain't no cap. This is probably the most excited I've ever been about seeing the squad, because it just, everything they was doing, it just hits different. And you take the team that we had last year and you complement it, and you remove some pieces, but you get more pieces. And I hate to say this, Will, and I said it before on my last show, I'm gonna say it again. And I'm gonna ask you this question, Will. This is straight to you.
Don't you say nothing about Grady Jarrett, man.
You already know what it is. You already know. I said
let him ask you a question.
I said it last time. So I'm gonna say it. You wasn't here last time when we was on here. So I'm gonna say it to you now. I said, and Blackberry can contest to this. I said, if we hit on this draft, will that Grady Jarrett, excommunicado, will it be gone in the wind? Will.
Man, no, I ain't gone. But I appreciate that we hit. I appreciate it, but I still ain't gonna forget y'all let that man go. But it'll hurt a little less when if we goddamn dominate, if our front line dominate this year. How about that?
I'm just saying. I'm like, because we talked about it. We said, man, I said it. I said, man, if we hit on this draft, man, they gonna forget about that great Jared. You don't hear nobody talking about that thing. Now I'm talking about that man at all, man.
Yeah. Well, it was talked about so much, so it was pretty much dead.
It's burnt out.
Yeah.
How many times we keep
but
talking about?
If he show out in Chicago this year, it's gonna be revisited. I guarantee you. Yeah, but it's gonna be a moot point if the Falcon defensive line show out this year too. So it's gonna be like a win-win type situation. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's true. I feel a lot of people are sleeping on Braylon Price. Yeah, I think the kid's going to be good, but I feel like we don't have that real pressure through the middle that we need. It's all going to come off the edge, guys. And I'm cool with that. If you can generate that pressure from the edge, that's fine. But there's a lot of people who really want that 320-pound, 330-pound body in the middle.
Yeah. Can we give a shout out?
None of our noses are anywhere near that. I think the biggest nose we've got is 298, maybe 302.
All right. Can we give a shout out to Miss Auntie Pamela Johnson talking about how she hasn't heard I haven't heard no fans have a negative comment. Besides, I heard one person say something. That's why I wanted to mention. Have y'all heard anybody say anything about Mike Green yet? I had one person ask me. I thought we was getting Mike Green.
I wanted Mike Green. No, what's been said, man?
Because I wanted that. Only grade we love in Atlanta is the hospital.
Mike troll. They stay trolling on great ass. He know. Got there. Every time you see me, he trolling on that big ass.
Oh man, that's funny. T1000, man. How much will the healthy T1000 help our defense, man?
Tremendously.
Yeah, y'all better be watching out, boy. I think that boy got that boy in that lab. I'm telling y'all, man. That boy in that lab.
Yeah.
Tremendously. Troy Anderson just need to stay healthy. They need to inject that boy with that Wolverine stuff so he can stop getting daggone hurt. Just put the liquid metal in him so he can stay healthy.
Hell yeah. Because, I mean, I've seen the Falconer had a chat with Caden Ellis, and he says that he feels like the backers core is definitely getting faster and crisper. more alert. They're responding better, which is great to hear as well. Because I want this front seven ready to go for pre-season. We need to figure out what those 7 or 8 guys are going to be that are going to be our main rotation. I think we all know like 70-80% of who our starting D is going to be, but this is like, as I say, there's always something when it comes to the Falcons that's a drawback. If it's not your receivers aren't great, it's you've not got a QB, or your backers aren't great. I feel like this is certainly one of the more complete Falcons rosters we've had in a hell of a long time.
Right.
On paper.
On paper.
On
Yeah.
paper,
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
But Blackberry said we still need somebody that can push the pocket in the interior.
Well, somebody that's already established themselves as a pocket mover.
Okay.
Because while I do believe that Rukaroro and Dorless, I do think that they still have they got a lot of potential. I think they still got high ceilings. I think Fox can come in and he can give those guys some tutelage on what they need to get to that next stage in their career. With everything in me, I just know that if we get that big pocket pusher that we know finna push that pocket, like somebody out of Pittsburgh or somebody out of the Jets. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh love them a Kyle Pitts. I'm pretty sure the Jets love them a Kyle Pitts.
You still want to
I'm
give
just
up Kyle
saying.
Pitts.
I'm just saying.
Kyle Pitts ain't going nowhere, Jack.
He might not be. But I'm just saying.
I gotta talk to you like Jarvis Davis. He ain't going nowhere, Jack.
Little shout out to Southside 12 as well.
Simon does
That's
his
a
thing.
kid I forgot for the UDFA class. Simeon Barrow Jr. out of Miami.
Oh yeah, he gonna be a
He's
beast.
not a day one starter, but the kid can go.
Hey man, it's gonna be stupid.
I just don't. I know it in my bones. If we get one of them pocket pushers, this team ain't gonna be. It's gonna be an unstoppable team.
Hell yeah.
Because whenever the defense is having a bad day, the offense is gonna pick it up. Whenever the offense not having a good day, the defense gonna pick it up. But most days, it's gonna be like clockwork. We just gonna be taking over games, man. But we got it. I hopefully Rukaroro or Dorless, hopefully both of them, but hopefully at least one of them that switch flips. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a question right here, JPM. Do y'all think the Senior Bowl practice kind of showing up only one day affected Mike Green any?
No sexual assault messing with him.
Well, yeah, that's not going to make you practice your best when you've got that looming over you.
Yeah, don't nobody want to get deal with no high pick with that kind of hanging over. You know what I mean? So
nah, it was over for the kid for me after that. Like the minute I read that, I was like, nah, he can go to Baltimore or something. That's fine with me.
So that's why he dropped the way he did. They don't take a chance on him like that.
And that's what you need to look at too. There's so many of these kids that come out with character concerns, and to our benefit, yeah. But I just think it's a great thing that all the kids we've brought in this year seem to be decent, upstanding human beings. Like to be a stud on the field is one thing, but I also want, if you're going to represent this team in this city, I want you to be a decent fucking man. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be too much to ask.
Just keep on the massage parlors, my guys.
Yep, keep your hand to yourself and
just lay down. Don't be trying to. When she's over you, just lay down. Don't be.
You hearing this now, Deshaun?
Just keep your hands to yourself. But I tell that to anybody in any
Thanks.
profession that don't involve you putting your like physically putting your hands on somebody. Like
Mm-hmm.
just keep your hands to yourself. I tell these truckers, anybody tell me they want to get their CDL, keep your hands to yourself. Don't go touching these folk product. Stay away
Mm-hmm.
from these folk stuff. Keep your hands to yourself, and you're gonna be all right. Just keep your hands to yourself, young fellas. Don't come into
Mm-hmm.
this and screw up that money. Don't screw that money up because you want to be dumb. Keep your hands to yourself.
Mm.
And your lips and your tongue too, and whatever else you use to be touching.
Stay away from them light lasers.
Man. Yeah. Oh man, y'all stupid. All right. We're finna go ahead and end this thing. Can y'all go ahead and shout yourselves out and let everybody know where they can find you at?
I'll
Yeah,
start off
whenever
then.
y'all want to go, whoever want to go.
Go ahead. I let
Okay,
the other Will go first. Go ahead, Will.
so I want to start off just by thanking you boys for having me on again. It's always a pleasure to be in the building for these AFN shows. So guys, just keep on showing support, showing some love down in the comments for the guys and gals. We all get jobs, we're parents, we give up a lot to bring this content to you. But for us, it's a labour of love too. They're our birds. We're fans first. And so to have this platform to just chat shit with y'all is amazing to have. So thanks once again, guys.
All good. Who's next?
All right, man. Y'all can follow me at Will the Georgia Reaper on everything, man. Catch me Wednesday nights on everything Atlanta Sport. Uh, man, if y'all ain't did so, like, share, and subscribe to my page. And whatever AFN got going on, y'all know if I got time, I'm there. I'm already in there. You already know.
For sure. Blackberry.
What I'm gonna say, a lot of people is not going to like. If all we need a tight end to do is give us regular average or slightly above average tight end numbers, we don't need Kyle Pitts.
Agree.
I've been saying it's more than just the stats with Kyle Pitts. It's situations where he got caught slipping, and it's situations where he literally fumbled the ball.
He cradled that thing just.
Mm-hmm.
Raheem Morris,
Yeah,
Raheem Morris credited him today on getting a little bit better in the run game. He said they was able to go behind him on some run plays. He needs to lean into that. Excuse me. Kyle Pitts needs to lean into that. Lean into it. Because the more you become more of a tight end, the better you're going to be in situations when we need you to be a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Jump balls in the end zone. Being a big target in the red zone. That's when we need you to make your money.
just play your frame. I don't understand how you can be 6'6", nigh on 250 and being pushed off of your routes. Shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen. Use your body. Use your body as your weapon. That's what George Kittle does magnificently. That's what Tony Gonzalez did magnificently. They use their body.
Hey,
It's not just about the numbers with Kyle Pitts. It's about the situations. Stop getting caught slipping. Stop getting caught not finishing routes. Stop getting caught moping. Stop getting caught doing these things. It's not just about the numbers. That's why I said if you want somebody that's just if you just need a tight end to give you slightly above average tight end numbers, you don't need Kyle Pitts. You can
Go ahead.
Didn't they get didn't they get rid of Grady Jarrett because of that? Giving mediocre,
Oh,
doing mediocre numbers, and then
touche.
you
Come
get
on, man. Y'all forgetting that this man has 700 and something receiving yards. Those are not mediocre numbers
No,
for a
those are
tight end.
slightly
He,
above average tight end numbers.
Mm.
what I want him to do is get more touchdowns, and that's not all his fault. That's the offensive coordinator fault and Kirk Cousins' fault for not throwing it to this man
He did
wide
drop
the
some
fuck
balls in the
open.
end zone. He
He
did
didn't
drop
drop
some
that
balls
many,
in the
bro.
end zone.
He did not. No, he didn't drop. Where you seen him
He
drop
dropped a couple.
balls in the end zone,
I
dog?
seen him. I seen him drop a couple in the end zone.
When he got an opportunity in the end zone, I don't know what game you
He done
watching,
had
Blackberry.
he
oh,
nah,
Where
he
he
you
get
when
got
you
a
lost.
get
couple.
No.
opportunities?
He get lost in games, bro. You have two big
Nah,
catches and you won't see him
he
no
ain't
more.
dropped those passes in the end zone. I can agree with you. He
Yeah, he
dropped
did.
passes, yes,
Yeah,
but
he
not in no
did.
end zone.
Yeah, he did.
You know what's funny about
I'm gonna go back and my bad time. I'm gonna go back and find the exact game
Yeah,
so
you
I
got
can
to
tell
find
you.
that.
I
No,
want to
you
say it
said
was
pass six. You didn't say one pass. You said pass six in the end zone. That was what you said.
passes a couple in the
Oh,
same
okay,
game.
okay.
In the same game.
well.
But he got to be given that opportunity. Yeah, I only seen him lollygag on two times.
You can't be. See, that's the thing. You can't be that person that's because he's held on a high pedestal. You
Julio
can't
Jones
be
did the
that.
same thing.
You
Julio
can't be
Jones, he
that.
took himself third down, all the field third down, everything.
Hey, hey, and you see what happened to him, did you? so, but you can't be that person not finishing routes, not doing lackadaisical when you're running your routes, and then you get a young guy that's almost arguably your same archetype that probably hungry, and you just I'm
I'm
here.
agreeing with y'all on the I don't like lack of days go routes, and I don't like that shit either. But I'm saying it wasn't his fault that he didn't succeed last year. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't all his fault. That's all I'm getting at.
My
I
only
mean,
point is that if everybody's just okay with him giving, if it's just about the numbers for y'all, if it's just about the yards, if it's just about that, what he gave you, you can get from one of these
multiple
guys you
people,
already got on the damn team.
multiple people, and pay them
And there
less.
is 1 year to go, so I'm going to say this as clearly as I can. So if there's any youngins down in the chat, listen up. If you do what you've always done, you will get what you have always gotten. Step it up, Kyle. We can see you quitting your deep routes. We can see you. We would rather you messed up at 100 miles an hour than quit halfway.
Mm,
That's all there is to it.
Wisdom,
mm.
wise.
I want you to tell me how many tight ends had over 700 yard receiving.
You see?
Oh no, you said yeah, but
I
no,
did
no.
say, but
You
I
said
did
he had
say
average numbers, bro.
I
You
said
said he had
slightly
average numbers.
above. I
Kyle Pitts
said
didn't,
slightly above average numbers. Those were my words.
he didn't
Slightly
even have
above
700
average
yards
numbers.
last year. He had like 600 something.
He had over 700.
He had over 700, but
Yeah,
that's still only slightly above average tight end numbers. That's not something. If that's all you looking at is the numbers and not looking at the tape and saying, "Oh yeah, he
That's
did
all you
get
can
caught."
look at. That's all you can look at with pass catching. You got to look at their numbers, back there.
No, you got to go.
You got to
It's
look
the
at their
same
numbers,
thing.
man.
We just did this with Matthew Judon. Well,
Mm.
look,
That's not the
I had
same. That's
I
not the
had to
same.
I had to explain to everybody. Yo, he had a couple double-digit sack seasons, but he ain't never been that go get me a sack guy. He ain't never been that.
He
Count
was that in New England. He was that in New
right
England.
now. He was that for maybe 1 year. That's why you can't. It wasn't consistent. But that's
Kyle
when
Pitts
you
had
look.
600 yards last season.
Oh,
602.
Yeah, but
time
there's a
looking
good
it up.
maybe 25 tight ends or so around 500 yards or more. So
Mm-hmm.
I would
That's
say
slightly
500
above
yards is
average.
average.
That's slightly above average.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just about the numbers, y'all, that's why I said you can go make the team better in another area,
and use Kyle Pitts as a trade piece. If it's still more people that's convinced that Kyle Pitts can just turn it on, that the switch gonna finally flip for him. Let that switch flip for somebody else for their best for one of their best defensive pieces in the middle.
You're right. That nigga had 600 yards, but still, it wasn't his fault. Though.
It ain't about because that's why I said though, Will. It ain't just about the yards. It ain't just about the numbers. It's about situations when look, man, the guy in Green Bay. What's that guy name in Green Bay? That tight end in Green Bay. It's on tip of my tongue.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. How many times was Kyle Pitt open last year? That he didn't get the ball. How many times did we see him open?
I seen him open a few times.
I seen him about open like
when they had an interview. When they had an interview with MPJ, when he said, "What is he saying out there?" He say, "Man, I'm seeing guys run open." So how are we gonna blame Kyle Pitts for his lack of success? And he can't throw himself the damn ball.
He went on the one. I seen a lot. I seen almost everybody open, and they didn't get the ball thrown to him.
Yeah. No, we not gonna bunch them all together like we seen Kyle Pitts got them wide open and didn't touch the ball. This nigga had to actually wave his hand in the end zone for Kirk Cousins to throw him a damn ball. Come on, bro. Let's be real with it. Let's be real. Now he have been disappointing, but we also looking at his numbers as a wide receiver because we seen what he did with Matt Ryan when we had nobody else to catch the ball.
Why is it so hard for people to believe that he waving his arms in the end zone because he's not the first read?
He waving his hand in the end zone because he sat there for a minute. I know you watched the same game.
But he wasn't the first read.
You watched the same game we watched, bro. That man was standing there for a minute.
Did you ever stop to think about that? Maybe he was the third read on that play.
Okay. Let's ask you a serious question right now. If he go play in Kansas City with Kyle Pitts show out,
I don't know.
That's the only question I got for you.
Probably.
No, we ain't talking about technically.
They ain't got no number one receivers.
Oh,
they got a group of number 3 receivers. That's what they got.
I asked you a simple question, bro. Would Kyle Pitts succeed in Kansas City? Yes or no? You said no. You went around.
I say,
come on, man.
I think he will.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you.
I don't know.
They use their tight end. We don't use our tight end.
There you go. Thank you.
I feel like he'd be successful, but only because Andy Reid would light a fire under his ass.
What does Zach Robinson say in his all-season goddamn interview? He didn't know his personnel. That's a fucking problem. I respect you for coming. Hold up. I respect you for coming out and saying that. I respect you for doing that. That's the only way I take that shit. But as an offensive coordinator, first thing you do, you go sit down and watch that fucking tape and learn your personnel. That ain't no fucking excuse you didn't know your personnel, motherfucker. That ain't no excuse.
But Zach Robinson also said when it come to Kyle Pitts, it's about him getting consistent with playing fast. Them words came out Zach Robinson mouth.
Once he said he didn't know his personnel, I ain't listening to shit else that nigga said out of mouth.
Yo, but
explain to me how someone who runs a 4.46 doesn't know how to play fast. What?
Exactly. It ain't about knowing how to use them. It's about seeing him on tape and seeing him come out off the line fast, but come out the break slow, and the ball goes selling right past him.
Hey,
that's what
we're not excusing him for not coming off the ball fast and all that. But let's be for real, dog. If I'm running 70 routes and I only get one catch, I'm gonna be goddamn mad as shit too the whole game. I'm gonna be pissed off. I'm running full speed, 70 goddamn route, and only touch the ball one time. Yeah, I'd be mad as hell too.
That's an excessive number, sir. That's an excessive number.
Okay, so how many? Hold up.
Routes and you only get
Black Bear. This man was. Did you not see it? You didn't see that game, bro? That man had one target in the game, bro. One catch.
But there's other ways to look at it.
He was being used. No, he was being used as a clear out route guy. So
It's
that
time
means
to
he's
stop
running
making
at
these
least
excuses,
60
bro.
to 70 routes, dog.
It's time to stop making these excuses, bro.
It ain't no
I
excuse.
just
I'm
the
getting
first
stats.
thing
I'm
I
getting
said,
stats with it.
it ain't just about the numbers. It's about the situations. That's why
Okay, we talking about. I asked you a situation. I asked you how
the
many times was this
the
motherfucker wide
throw
open. That ain't
the
got shit to
throw
do with
from
it.
Michael Penix to Kyle Pitts, the throw from Michael Penix to Kyle Pitts in that Washington game is a perfect fucking example because Michael Penix had to trust that Kyle Pitts gonna be what he's supposed to be at on this play in this moment when we
You,
need this touchdown.
you
This
knew what
about the
happened?
situation.
He knew Mike LPJ was gonna get on the ball. This man went out there on the field and knew Kirk Cousins was gonna throw on the damn ball. I'm like, man, fuck what I'm doing out here. He knew Kirk Cousins wasn't gonna throw
And
him the
that's still
fucking
a problem.
ball, bro.
That's still a problem for me. That's still a problem for me because Julio Jones, who everybody is criticizing today, Julio Jones said also on that podcast, it didn't matter what the play was. He was going out there and giving it 120% every
When he was
single
on the field.
Yeah,
time.
When
exactly.
he was on the
I'm
field.
a
When he's on
receiver.
the field,
He'll
if
just
he
take
got
himself
the
off. He'll just take
if
himself
you
off the
off the
field.
field, you ain't in the play. What you
He
mean?
took himself off the field, period. That's the way he do it. Him and Kyle Pitts
And
do
so
it different ways.
what?
He took
The,
himself off the field, bro. We
Bijan tried to
driving.
take
We
himself.
drive.
Bijan tried to take
We
himself
drive.
off the field.
No, because
He tried to
he was
take
actually
himself off the
tired.
field.
Julio don't even be tired, bro.
Okay, bro, come
but
on, bro.
it's
Look,
We
really
got to stop
simple
we
the
though.
know that, bro.
bullshit.
How many times this man
Stop
tap
the
out? He tap,
bullshit,
no,
Will.
no, no. How many times this man tapped out, bro? We on the scoring drive. This motherfucker tapped out. We like, what the hell, Julio with? He on the fucking sideline. Let's not play, bro.
Man, come
Let's
on,
not
man.
do that, bro.
Ain't
Let's
nobody
not do that.
never said nothing about Julio not giving effort 100% effort on a play.
Yeah,
Never. You
I ain't
ain't
never
never
heard nobody.
heard that.
I ain't never heard nobody say that. I ain't
And
never heard
No,
Julio
nobody.
got the
that's all
few.
I'd been saying. If you know you're not getting the ball, cool. Go hit somebody.
Go
Go
block
run
somebody
your
out
man
that
off.
damn
Do
quick.
something.
Yeah, we already said we not giving him no excuse for that. We already said that. I acknowledge that. But I
Yeah, yeah.
also acknowledge if he's wide open on the damn field, give him the fucking ball. Like a lot of
Oh
people
yeah, if
had
your
problem
man's
with
open, get him
goddamn Ray
by
Ray
all
getting the
means.
ball. He wide open. Give Ray Ray the
100%.
ball.
Mm-hmm.
Bijan was running right alongside Kirk Cousins, wide the fuck open. He ain't throw
We're
him the
not gonna
ball.
talk about Bijan. Bijan get the
Ain't,
ball all the goddamn
ain't,
time.
ain't hear nobody saying throw
Bijan with
Bijan the
80%
ball,
of the Bijan with
Come
eighty
on,
percent of
man.
the offense last year, bro. Come on now. We not even gonna put that nigga in that same category.
It's time to stop making these damn excuses, bro.
It's
It's
only
time to
an
stop.
excuse because we
It's
talking
time to
about
stop.
Kyle Pitt, right?
The,
It's
the
only
reason
excuse because
why
we talking about Kyle Pitt.
the reason why Travis Kelce and George Kittle and Laporta and all them guys, the reason why Darren Waller when he was still playing, the reason why those guys got the attention that they got from the fan base, from football fans, it was because even when you know they finna be draped, even when you know they finna be double covered, you know they gonna be the option because they still the best option to go to in that moment. And that's what Michael Penix knew. He knew in the moment that Kyle Pitts needed to be the guy to catch this ball. So if Kyle Pitts, if he does that every single time he out there on that field, then we're not talking about this today. Why
Can you
can't
say this
nobody
man
why,
run his
why
route
can't nobody
75%
just
of the time, bro?
admit that?
Can we say that he run his route 75% of the time for a go?
Yeah,
Because
we
I
can say
only
it.
seen 2 times that this man went lax and Jacob, but y'all act like this man went 10 fucking games, looks to running around some shit. I only seen 2 times that man did that, bro. Two.
One is
Will,
one is too many.
one is too many. Two is
We
too.
got players that do. He ain't the only one doing it. He ain't the
It's
only
the
one doing
fact
it.
that he got caught slipping by the
Eh,
man that has to throw him the ball.
Yeah,
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I don't give a fuck, bro. You
You
the
lose
starting
trust
quarterback,
that way, man.
bro.
You lose
You the
trust that
starting.
way.
You the starting quarterback. Your
hmm
job is to help us win the game. If I
right.
got Kyle Pitts wide the fuck open, I'm gonna throw him the ball. I don't give. I'm gonna cuss his ass out about being less than days or whatever on the sideline when I got to. But if we trying to score, nigga, he's
Yeah,
wide open.
I know how
Leave
to
that
get
cutting
Will.
shit off. Leave that
I know
cutting
how
shit
to
off,
get Will,
bro.
y'all. I know how to get Will, y'all. You hire a couple drivers, and you know they got a real tight
shit.
spot. They got the bag in two behind the stove. Now, one of your drivers he done had a clean back, he done had a clean record all his years, but he done hit that damn wall behind that building 2 times. You done saw him hit it 2 times.
2 times. You ain't
2
gonna trust
times.
him. You
gonna trust him to back that
You ain't gonna
motherfucking truck
trust
up in
him.
that damn dock again?
You talking different thing now, bro.
No, it's about trust. He's
You
talking about
talking different thing, bro.
he's talking about
Tell
the quarterback trusting the tight end. After you see somebody do something twice, you're not gonna. I'm telling you, just think about it like this too. I'm gonna give you another example. Piggyback on what Blackberry just said. You're a great employee, but you come to work late out. You come to work late 2 times back to back. You did 2 no call, no shows. I ain't gonna trust you that you're gonna come in the next day and you asking me for more hours. I'm not gonna give you no more hours because I can't trust you. Don't gave me 2 back days that you was no call, no show. It's about trust. I can't trust.
But that wouldn't be that situation. That'll be he came in late, not a no call, no show. He came in late because this man running routes the whole game. He went late a couple times.
Same difference.
But again, do you feel
y'all doing the scream? Y'all doing the scream situation? That wasn't the scream. That wasn't the scream. What that man did, bro? Twice, bro. Twice. That's not a scream. That's not a scream, bro.
How many times?
That's
how many
consistency
times
thing?
did Bijan Robinson fumble the ball? And when they say he had fumbling problems,
that man had 4 fumbles that season, bro. That's different than. Bro,
they say he had fumbling issues after he fumbled twice.
After he fumbled twice.
That man was fumbling is big, bro. You giving up the ball. You giving up the ball.
Don't move the goalpost, Will.
I'm not moving. Fumbling is big, bro. Y'all act like he dropped the ball. He didn't drop shit.
He put the ball in hard way by not finishing routes.
Bro, that ball, did you not see where that ball landed at? Who was going to catch it, Blackbear? Who was going to catch it? Who was going to catch it, bro? Nobody was over there, bro. Y'all
catch radius.
Y'all making it way too wide of margin, bro.
At the end of the day, bro, it's about trust.
But y'all forget that I said I don't excuse him from doing it. I already acknowledged it. I said if he's wide open, no, you say you gonna trade the motherfucker. Come on, bro. No, it ain't his fault that he didn't over succeed last year because he quarterback and throwing the fucking ball. That's not his fault, bro.
I'm not saying trade him in a malicious intent. I think
every time you get a chance, you talking about trade that motherfucker. I trade that motherfucking hard. Something to trade that something, bitch.
I think he good trade stock. I think he good trade stock. That's a compliment. That's
good. He's got value.
Yeah, he got value. But I was closing out anyway. Before Will wanted to get his before he wanted to get his $29.
You started that shit. I said one statement. You started that shit. Went all the way out to the side, nigga.
Trying to get his $29. So that's all I'm gonna say. If I like, look, the cow pit, we ain't gonna talk about cow pit no more. But y'all make sure you.
Oh my God, Mike, for real, bro.
Tune into the home team with Blackberry, man. Tune into the home team with Blackberry. If you ain't already subscribed, go subscribe to the home team with Blackberry. That Blackberry no CJK. Appreciate for having me on, Ty. Appreciate you. Appreciate the pound of Wheel. Both of the Wheels. Appreciate y'all. Big Wheel and International Wheel. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, brother.
Right. So yeah,
we got Wheel.
Contrary to what the evidence shows, you guys, this is a family. We do love one another.
Right.
They know how me and Blackberry get down anyway.
Yeah, they already know.
And I'm the Lochness, man. Like I say, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, man. The Lochness Podcast on YouTube if you haven't already done it. I appreciate everybody for stopping by, even everybody active in the chat, man. And whoever gonna listen to this on the playback. Appreciate you too. Leave comments, share the content, leave a thumbs up, hit the notification bell. Hey, I appreciate y'all, and be back the same time next week with 9:30 next Tuesday. I guess we'll be talking about Kyle Pitts next Tuesday.
And y'all better not let Brady Spears show out this year. Y'all better not let him show out this year.
Man,
oh no, man. No, I want Grady to show out. I mean, I do got a Grady jersey that was signed by him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I don't like him. I ain't saying I don't like him now. I ain't saying like him, but more power to him, man. More power to him.
Grady gonna retire in 3 seasons. He gonna play this season. He gonna play a little bit in 2026, and he gonna retire in 2027.
Will just said, no, he not.
I don't know where he gonna retire though, but yeah, man.
No.
But hopefully we got good coaching and get these boys ready, man. Got these boys ready out here.
For sure. We only run about our squad, man. And for everybody else.
Yeah, F for when he played the Falcons, but I'll be watching him. It's F for when he played the Falcons, yeah. But I'll be watching him, see, because if he do good, I'm gonna bring it up on the show. Y'all gonna hear it on my show. I'm gonna bring that shit up.
He gonna have a whole damn 2 hours talking about Grady Jarrett.
Nah, I ain't putting that much time into it. It's still a Falcons show. I ain't putting that much time into
it. Hey, y'all know how we'll be having all the different news, different news sites.
You gonna have different angles in that same play that he got that one sack.
See, that's the problem when we look at Grady, we looking at sacks. It ain't about sacks with no defensive tackle. See, we spoil with how they use Aaron Donald in their defense. Man, let this man end this show, man. He gonna end this show 40 minutes ago.
This sack at this angle. Look at this, the bird's eye view angle. Look at this angle.
You seen how the dirt just get the grass kicked off his cleats when he went in and extended?
Yo, he gonna have it in slow motion and everything with background music and doves flying over there.
This is what I'm talking about. Justice for Grady. This is what it's supposed to look like.
I hope I ain't talking about that. I hope our defense doing good. I ain't got to talk about it like that.
Oh god damn, that damn Will.
Man. I appreciate y'all, bro. Oh man, Grady not blocking.
Oh Lord, don't get him started. Don't get him started.
If we're going to open that Pandora's box, I'm going to need some more smoke.
Hey, go ahead and get bro. We'll be on here past 2 hours and get started. We'll be on here past 2 hours, man.
Let's talk about it after dark. All right, the extended version. All right, y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. We finna head out, man. Peace.